Standards are not created to exclude, they are created to define. Every institution that endures does so because it maintains a line, a point at which it says, this is what we are and this is what we are not. Freemasonry was never without that line. It was understood, even when it was not spoken, that to enter was to accept something greater than oneself, not to shape it, not to negotiate it, but to conform to it. This is the standard, not a preference or a suggestion, a requirement. And yet, in many places, that requirement has been softened, not removed, but blurred. Standards of conduct become personal interpretation. Standards of appearance become optional. Standards of expectation become inconsistent. And once inconsistency is introduced, identity begins to fracture, because a standard that is not upheld is not a standard at all. It is a memory. The ancient does not speak of standards out of pride. He does not insist upon them to elevate himself above another man. He insists upon them because they elevate all men equally. A man who enters a lodge having prepared himself in dress, conduct, and mindset has already begun the work. He has acknowledged that this moment requires something more than the ordinary, and that acknowledgement is the first step of refinement. In a world that has abandoned formality, formality becomes intentional. It becomes a signal that this place is different, that this work is different, that the men within it are striving towards something higher. The dotard will say it is the internal, not the external. And again, this is only half understood, because while the internal is what qualifies a man, the external is what reflects his effort. One does not replace the other. They work in alignment. When a man refuses the external entirely, he reveals something internal. Not freedom, but resistance. Resistance to discipline. Resistance to expectation. Resistance to refinement. And when that resistance is accepted, it spreads. Casualness becomes culture. Effort becomes optional. And the lodge becomes indistinguishable from the world outside it. This is not evolution. It is erosion. Because Freemasonry was never meant to mirror society. It was meant to elevate above it, to offer a contrast, a place where standards still exist, where expectations are clear, where a man is not left as he is, but is required to become more. And this requirement is what gives the craft its value, not accessibility, not convenience, but effort. Because anything that demands nothing produces nothing. This is why standards must be visible, consistent, and upheld without exception. Not to exclude the man who cannot meet them, but to reveal the man who will not. There is a difference. The man who cannot may rise. The man who will not must be recognized, because once admitted, he will not conform. He will reshape, and slowly, without confrontation or resistance, the standard lowers to accommodate him, and once lowered, it rarely returns. This is how institutions fade, not through collapse, but through compromise. The ancient understands this, which is why he does not negotiate with the standard. He upholds it, quietly, consistently, and without apology, because he knows that the strength of the craft is not found in how many it includes, but in what it requires of those who enter.